So this video about so-called healthy food, what do we know about healthy food? And you know that I was always advising to follow in older age the carnivore diet and strict carnivore diet. But when I just got to some details about the oxalate, the danger of oxalates accumulation and so-called calcification of our body, then it is really surprising, quite surprising information and very important one. So it is again that what I want to talk about, that we have during all the age, all the time, our life, we accumulate calcium oxalate, which is almost insoluble in water. So we accumulate it, and this accumulation of calcium oxalate probably drives all the aging of our body. Probably. So let's go to some more details, and then what is actually a problem, that not so easy to find information about this process, about this danger. Not so, quite few publications, there are only quite few publications about this, and they are mostly focused on kidney stones. And kidney stones, it's just a symptom, it is not the problem. Problem is accumulation of this calcium oxalate, but kidney stones is just some final stage when it is, everything is ruined in your body. Okay, just let's go. This is a picture of so-called healthy food. If you will Google it, what is healthy food, you will get mostly such pictures, okay? And also you will get recommendations from the recommendation about food pyramid developed by Harvard School of Public Health under the guidance of the American nutritionist Walter Willett. As I said, you will get the picture on the previous slide. So, and we have been hearing since childhood that the food on your plate should look as colorful as possible, with a lot of vegetables, greens and fruits for the vitamins and phytoncides that we need so much. And the basis of nutrition should be the products of plant origins, cereals, bread and pasta from full grains, and vegetable oils, fruits, beans, peas and other legumes, nuts and seeds. According to official nutritionists, a healthy diet for everyday consumption may include small amount of fish, poultry and skim milk as a source of calcium. And but it is the best to avoid red meat and animal fats, as well as refined sugar. According to this understanding of healthy food, meals for children at school and kindergartens are composed. And I myself in past did not think much about what food is healthy and what is not, but I believe that for good health you need, everybody need to consume as many fresh fruits and greens as possible. Until the day after I moved to Thailand, and I didn't get severe psoriasis because I was eating too much fruits. Fruits here is dirty cheap, greens all year available, and then this was disastrous results. So it is difficult to get rid of the stereotypes imposed by society. Commoners blindly trust authorities. And the opinion of Harvard professors sounds to most people like a revelation from above, like a pure and uncluttered source of scientifically proven knowledge. Although one should think, why may the most prestigious and expensive American university care about ordinary people? What is the connection, what is the interest of these richest people on the planet? Why they should care about common people? And again, that's how it is that richest people on the planet suddenly become concerned about the health and education of commoners. After all, at all ages in the past, the rich elite only wanted to transfer the accumulated wealth and power to their offspring and keep the mob in complete submission. This was always in history. And good example is fluoridation of drinking water. Fluoridated drinking water was first used in concentration camps in Nazi Germany. Well, it's probably because Gestapo and the SS took real care of the health of the Jews and wished them to live a long, happy life, right? Yeah, so, but maybe you will think and just try to find any logics. And again, especially chemists know that fluorine salts are red toxins. It's red poison. And then why is drinking water fluoridated now? You just think why this elite pushing forward this fluorinated water, fluorinated toothpaste, etc., etc. Okay, okay, let's go to further about the vegetable seeds, greens, and fruits. What besides pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics, and other chemicals do plants contain? And may evolution create such plants that love those who kill and eat both the plants and as well as offspring, like seeds? Or you may again, or maybe you will try to think logically. Is it possible that evolution will go this way, that plants are just full of love and won't keep you healthy? It is like Gestapo and SS take care of your health, yeah, right? Okay, try to take away a cub from a mother bear, or a tiger a cub from a tigress, and animals will fight to the death to protect their children. But plants cannot fight. They cannot move mostly. Does this mean that they allow themselves and their offspring to be killed and eaten? After all, plants, like any living beings on this planet, are programmed to procreate with their offspring. And also, plants cannot run from danger or cannot fight. Over hundreds of millions of years of natural selection, they have developed chemical defenses. These are all kinds of toxins that make sick or unable to procreate those insects and animals that eat the plants and their seeds. And there are fewer such toxins in ripe berries and fruits because birds and other animals that eat the fruits and berries, they can carry and sow seeds far from the plants. That is, they help plants to spread. At the same time, the seeds themselves are protected in berries and fruits, either by strong shell or toxins in the seeds. But even in the case of fruits and berries, it would be useful for plants to limit the appetite of those who eat them. So that because they want to spread, but it is not that they will feed one animal. They want to, many animals will come and birds, and then spread it wide, more wide. Therefore, in addition to natural toxins, plants have developed some means to limit the appetite of the eaters. Today, I want to draw attention of visitors of my channel to one such defense tool. These are oxalic acid and salts of oxalic acid, or these oxalates, in particular calcium oxalate. Oxalates, that is, as I said, oxalic acid and its salts are compounds found in many plant foods. Oxalates are often referred to as anti-nutrients. When oxalates enter the cell, they damage the mitochondria in such way that the production of reactive oxygen species increases, while production of energy molecules ATP decreases. Accordingly, the natural antioxidant glutathione is consumed in the cell for deactivation of this reactive oxygen species. Glutathione can be synthesized from the amino acids L-cysteine, L-glutamic acid, and glycine. A limiting factor is the availability of the sulfur-containing amino acid L-cysteine. Glutathione is attached by liver enzymes to hydrophobic toxic substances in order to be excreted from the body as part of bile. Glutathione itself is poorly also absorbed in the gastrointestinal tract. It doesn't go back, but So its continuous synthesis in the cells is necessary to detoxify the body. The absorption of oxalates from the gastrointestinal tract is greatly enhanced when the digestion of fats is impaired due to insufficient production of bile acids. As a result, calcium ions in guts from milk react with fats and form calcium soap instead of reacting with oxalic acid. Because if they were if in your guts milk, the calcium in milk reacts with some this oxalic acid or oxalic acid ions, then this insoluble calcium oxalate will be produced in the guts and then will be excreted just with feces. It's not a problem, but it is kind of protection. So to consume both calcium ions or like milk and dairy together with maybe some salad, I don't know, a salad or some fruits. But if you cannot consume the fats, if it is like it's butter, and if you eat not enough proteins, then you produce not enough these bile acids, and then your digestion of the fats is impaired. So it is, and then you have calcium ions react with fats, not with oxalic acid, and then the rest of these oxalic acid ions are absorbed very easy into the bloodstream from the guts. Since calcium oxalate monohydrate is only slightly soluble in water, it is like less than 0.7 milligram per 100 milliliters of water. Again, it is very low solubility, which with the diet rich in oxalates, calcium oxalate accumulates in time in all tissues of the body. Again, this is very important. So I didn't talking about this before, but again, this accumulation of the calcium oxalate, these crystals in every tissue of our body, this is of huge paramount importance. Even in the brain, it can accumulate. A small molecule of oxalic acid crosses the blood-brain barrier, which should prevent the entry into the brain of neurotoxic components of serum, of the blood, as well as blood cells and pathogens in the blood. And after entering the brain, oxalic acid ions react with calcium ions, because calcium is present in every tissue, and it is important for the cells, to operation of the cells. And then it causes inflammation in the brain tissue and nerves. Chronic inflammation of the brain tissue is likely to be an important factor in the development of migraine, dementia, Parkinson, and Alzheimer's diseases in elderly. So we know that the official medicine explain it, okay, Parkinson and Alzheimer's, it is because that prions accumulate or amyloids, some proteins accumulate. But again, they don't check about the calcium oxalate crystals. They never check, but it is because if they will tell us, okay, oxalic acid is bad, then conclusions very easy. So limit the consumption of oxalic acid, limit consumption of fruits and vegetables. But it never would happen, because official medicine is recommending to eat as many plant food as possible, and stay away from animal food and animal protein and animal fat. Okay, then as I said, chronic inflammation of the brain is likely to be an important factor in the development of migraine, dementia, Parkinson, and Alzheimer. Yes, but not only. But again, with the accumulation of calcium oxalate, the transmission of nerve impulses through synapses is disrupted. And what is happening then? In particular, accumulation of calcium oxalate in the nerves that are responsible for opening and closing the sphincters we have many sphincters in our body. It is in the digestive system. It is like anus, urethra, gallbladder, urine, bladder, and etc. Quite many. And what is happening then? What is happening if the elderly people have this dysfunction? What is happening? Spontaneous urination and spontaneous defecation may occur, or release of stomach content into the esophagus. Then when this hydrochloric acid burns the mucus. It's again if you will look and if you will check what the elderly people are suffering from, you will find exactly this. And why? Nobody tells you why. But it is again because very probable, it is not many publications. I cannot say for sure, but because all the research in this area, it is just not funded by governments, and it is suppressed by big pharma because it is a source of money. People are getting these symptoms, they suffer a lot, and then big pharma give you some medicine that will reduce the symptoms but not cure the source of your disease. The accumulation of calcium oxalate in nervous tissue and nerves significantly worsens the quality of life and self-esteem of elders. Not only do these calcium oxalate crystals cause tissue inflammation, but the rate of deposition in tissue gets enhanced as the inflammation increases blood flow and the supply of calcium and oxalate ions with bloodstream. Again, this quite similar situation with zombie cells. When zombie cells accumulate at some level of the stiffness of the extracellular matrix, they produce chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation ignites more healthy cells go to the zombie state, and then the number of zombie cells increasing like in exponentially, and then people are getting self-poisoned, self-intoxicated with these molecules that zombie cells produce, and then people die because of this accumulation of the zombie cells. But almost the same mechanism. It's about accumulation of calcium oxalate, and it's again there is more connection. I will talk about this a little bit later. Okay, what is happening? The chronic increase in oxalate ions easily penetrate through the endothelium layer on the inside of the blood vessels, and they cause the release of histamine by mast cells around the blood vessel. So you will have release of histamine, and the chronic release in histamine level leads to chronic inflammation. So because of chronic inflammation, these blood vessels are getting narrow, and the narrowing of lumen, and then it is again your heart should work should push harder, and you will have increase in blood pressure, etc., etc. It is just developing more and more problems. The kidney excrete the oxalates to the bladder, and with the increased concentration of oxalates in the urine, the formation of calcium oxalate crystals can occur because they just sediment from solution, because solubility is very low, and if you have high concentration of oxalic acid ions and as well as calcium, then what is happening? These small nano-sized crystals can be formed inside your kidney, inside your bladder, inside all this urinary tract. And what is happening? Just watch. It leads to inflammation with symptoms similar to bacterial infection, because you get chronic inflammation. It is, and you think, okay, it is bacterial disease, and but it is clear that taking antibiotics does not help, and even make the symptoms larger, worsens the symptoms. Why? Because antibiotics, they kill bacteria in our guts, and there are some bacteria which destroy the oxalic acid. But if you take antibiotics, then this bacteria will die out, and then transfer of oxalic acid to the bloodstream will increase, and so it is again, it's only make your symptoms worse. Okay, then chronic inflammation of the urinary tract leads to slow urinating. It's almost all men or even women, they suffer from this slow urinating. Yeah, so you go to the toilet and it is not like it was in your younger age. And what is going further? Chronic inflammation ignites tissue fibrosis. And if you have tissue fibrosis local, yeah, then then you above some threshold of the stiffness of the extracellular matrix, you will have spontaneous transition of some healthy cells into a zombie cell. So what is happening? You will have this accumulation of these crystals, but then they ignite as zombie cells. So since zombie cells are larger in volume than healthy cells, the accumulation of calcium oxalate in the urinary tract, in mucosic layer, and the release of pro-inflammatory signaling molecules from zombie cells leads over time to an increase in the volume of the prostate gland, in the development of adenoma of the prostate gland. Okay, so you see, it is again quite big problem, and people have no idea why it is happening. Okay, according to statistics, half of men over 40-50 years old complain to the doctor about this adenoma of prostate gland. Okay, and as man ages, the risk of developing of this adenoma prostate gland, sorry, it is I make here this mistake, increases, and over time it develops in 85% of men. Official medicine considers a disbalance of sex hormones to be the cause of this APG, and recommends taking drugs that prevent the formation of dihydrotestosterone. This is a biologically active form of testosterone. So your testosterone drops, yeah, if you take these drugs, and this actually is turning a man into a castrato. It's amazing how Big Pharma is making money. Amazing. Okay, otherwise they produce surgical excision of the ureter to increase its lumen. So it is again quite expensive procedure and very nasty, and nothing good. But what they recommend? They recommend, okay, yeah, in older age, to prevent the development of this adenoma prostate gland tumor, adenoma prostate gland. Then what you have to do? You have to consume more healthy food, and that is what is healthy food in opinion of the official medicine. It is you have to limit the consumption of animal products and increase consumption of plant food, and especially so-called real food, which that are fruits and grains, and also to use statins to lower cholesterol levels. Again, it is just amazing. It is not, I don't consider it is some conspiracy. It is not conspiracy, it is just biology. It is just biology because people are getting stupid, the IQ drops, they believe to this official medical care professionals, and they believe to governments, and they just follow their recommendations, and some group of people just sucking blood from them, sucking money from them. If you cannot think, if you cannot think logically, then you will be a sheep. You will be the source of the people will suck blood from you, literally. So the consumption of dairy products containing a large amount of calcium is justified. Yes, I think yes, it is justified for the binding of oxalate ions and the formation of insoluble calcium oxalate in the intestine. Yes, so if you like with dairy products, you consume dairy products and maybe some, I don't know, even plant food, plant food like even salad, I don't know. But if you consume enough amount of dairy products, then this oxalate ions and react with calcium, and you will get insoluble calcium oxalate inside your intestine. And if it is insoluble, it cannot go to your blood. So it is with dairy products, 90% of the oxalate is just removed. Yeah. So and then it is kind of protection, dairy products protection. But better to avoid the plant food, the fruits and vegetables. Better to avoid. Okay, let's go further. However, drinking water, what is also interesting, drinking water which is rich in calcium ions, as well as drinking skimmed milk and yogurt between meals. So if you eat dairy products together with your meal, it is okay, it is very healthy. But if you have some, if you eat this yogurt or something between the main meals, then it leads to calcification of the body as calcium ions react. They penetrate to blood, and they react in tissues with oxalic acid ions and precipitate in there. Oxalic acid ions can be produced inside your body. This is natural process, and liver produces a lot of oxalic acid. But again, question is how it will react. If you have too much calcium to get into your blood, then you have this accumulation calcium oxalate in the tissues. And then health disorders develop in time, like cardiac arrhythmia, osteoporosis and bone fragility, arthritis, joint and backbone pain, insomnia, headaches and migraines. All this stuff. Okay, then what is interesting that in some parts of the world there are where many centenarians live. For example, in Japan and Yakutia, it is area north area of the Soviet Union and Russia, and the people, sorry. Fuck. Okay. Sorry. Again, people have only water from rain and also from snow. So it is again calcium content in drinking water is only 3 milligram per liter. Yeah. At the same time, calcium content in tap water in the United States is up to 200 milligram per liter. So if you can afford it, you drink distilled water. It will be much better and for your health. Okay, raphides are tiny needle-like crystals of calcium oxalate found in abundance in the tissues of many types of plants, berries and fruits. They can pierce the mucous membranes in the mouth, esophagus and intestine, which in particular contributes to the development of the leaky gut syndrome and autoimmune diseases. Raphides also trigger synthesis of toxins in the plant itself if they are eaten. For example, allicin, this is a sulfoxide, is a plant toxin that is formed during mechanical destruction of garlic cells. Allicin is bactericidal and fungicidal, so it is not bad to consume some amount of garlic, but also it protects the plant from being eaten by animals in a large amount. So you cannot eat a lot of garlic. It is so certainly it's a kind of protection. The same sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is powerful pro-oxidant and toxin that is produced from glucoraphanin contained in plants of the cabbage family. So it is all this cabbage and all the stuff, yeah, and also the green salad. When a plant is damaged by chewing, the plant enzyme myrosinase transforms the glucoraphanin into the toxic sulforaphane. Sulforaphane, I have a video about this. It's extremely toxic. Indeed, the needle-like crystals of calcium oxalate pierce both the nuclei and cell membranes and ensure mixing of glucoraphanin with the enzyme myrosinase. The accumulation of calcium oxalate crystals in the mucous membrane of the female vagina, for example, it's just for example because this is quite common, it leads to such sensations as if like it broken glass was poured in there. So it is again some elderly women develop such problem. Okay, this is a kiwi, and so you see these crystals, nanocrystals of the calcium oxalate, and quite great number of these crystals in kiwi, particularly in kiwi, and also needle-like crystals. You can find this refides. They are in wine. They are in wine also present. So it is. You drink wine, you think it is good for health. Just think about, think twice. It's not so healthy. Better drink alcohol. I believe some strong whiskey. Okay, this is what I am doing. Okay, needle-like crystals of this refides. They are long, quite long, 100 microns in a long. But they are small, few nanometers only diameter, and they are very sharp. They are very sharp, and then so if you eat kiwi, for example, you can just feel these crystals. And calcium oxalate crystals not always so sharp. They have some more hexagonal shape, and in onion you have this calcium oxalate, which are not so needle-like, but anyway, they are coming to your guts and they produce this oxalic acid ions. When sulforaphane enters the cells of herbivores, the natural oxidant glutathione is consumed to neutralize this toxin, and the level of reacting oxygen species in cells rises. I was talking about this already, yes, but and this leads to oxidation of unsaturated fatty acids in cell membranes with the formation of lipofuscin. Again, so accumulation of this junk is related to consumption of fruit and vegetables. So it leads also to DNA damage and eventually to apoptosis, that is cell death. Both oxalic acid itself and its water-soluble salts are toxic to all animals. Toxic, okay? Especially to us. Some animals and birds, they develop protection from these oxalates. They develop protection, but humans mostly not. Especially if you follow this healthy food diet, then you are doomed. Okay, both oxalic acid itself and in its water-soluble salts are toxic to all animals, as I said, but especially to humans. And when oxalates enter the cells, they react with calcium and iron ions to form water-insoluble salts that accumulate in tissues and especially in the kidney. Why in kidney? Because kidney always try to remove these salts from your body. But if concentration of calcium oxalate in the urine is too high, then you have all the problems I described before. Okay, accumulation of oxalates and calcium oxalate monohydrate with age causes an increase in the level of the reactive oxygen species in the cells and the in kidney also, which provokes an increase in the number of zombie cells, accelerated aging of the body. For example, there was research and the number of zombie cells increased in cell culture after treatment of the cells with hydrogen peroxide. It is quite easy, known way to produce zombie cells if you treat them with hydrogen peroxide, a high amount of this reactive oxygen species, but also with some solution of salts of oxalic acid, or you can take urine from people, from patients with this with this high concentration of the oxalates in the urine, and then you can read this publication. Again, not much research, but this research is very important. As I said, accumulation of the oxalates, calcium oxalates, ignites increase in number of zombie cells. So you see, it's not only that stiffening of your extracellular matrix ignites the zombie cells creation, but also this calcification, accumulation of calcium oxalate in the tissues do the same, especially if it is like this prostate gland and kidney. This is, And what is happening? If you have a lot of zombie cells in kidney will develop chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation that it means they cannot work properly. They do not extract all these toxins, and you develop all these problems. Kidney damage is often accompanied by gout, arthritis, that is inflammation of the joints and the deposition of crystals of oxalic acid and uric acid salts in there. So, okay, what is happening? When you have high concentration of this oxalate ions and calcium, of course, together, then what is? You have crystals in all tissues, but most dangerous the accumulation of these calcium oxalate crystals in kidneys. They are not, they are just stay inside and they ignite this reactive oxygen species and they reduce production of ATP, so all the metabolic rate of the cells is dropping down, then chronic inflammation develops and all the kidney work not properly, so you cannot remove the toxins from your body properly. And then eventually you will have this kidney stone. It is just kind of last stage. If you have too many calcium oxalate and with food and with diet and also accumulated in your body, then you will develop also this kidney stones. Kidney stones, so they can be removed, but again, you better think not to develop this. How not to develop this? Okay, then this is a picture of this calcium oxalate crystals, very sharp in the mucosal layer, like in your skin or mucoses in your guts or whatever. Oxalate ion is very small molecule. It can penetrate any membrane. It is very easy going inside the cells. And uric acid is a little bit larger, but again, question is, uric acid is not toxin itself, but if your kidney doesn't work properly, then you cannot remove it. And then it accumulates you will get development of this arthritis, gout. And also what you have to also consider is that oxalate production occurs naturally, mostly in the liver, in kidney, and it is influenced by dietary intake of some precursors like ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid, in the amount what official medicine propose, it is actually may it's in some condition it may result in production of this oxalate. So it is not main source of oxalate, but yet it is up to 40% of this oxalate which are in urine. It is from this ascorbic acid. So you take fruits with this ascorbic acid and you suddenly develop not only consumption of the calcium oxalate and other oxalate salts, but you develop oxalate, you produce oxalate also from ascorbic acid. So it's, just mind. Okay, again, what is, if your kidney doesn't work properly, then you will get another, this arthritis. Okay, let's talk about this. In all animals except humans and primates, uric acid is broken down by the action of the enzyme that's called uricase, produced in the liver, and then it is when you have this enzyme, then the uric acid get transformed to allantoin and excreted in the urine of all animals. But in primates, due to the lack of this enzyme uricase, uric acid may accumulate in the blood. Again, if your kidney doesn't work, it may accumulate in the blood. From time immemorial, it was believed that the development of the gout arthritis was due to excessive consumption of meat and alcoholic beverage. Again, why people were thinking this, I don't know, because again, rich people were developing this arthritis, and people were thinking, oh, these rich people, maybe they were eating too much of meat and drinking, but it is not also. So we can speculate why, but it's again, everything depends on diet. If okay, then Modern medicine, it's again just continues this rubbish. It counts for gout, for arthritis development, following factors: high blood pressure, excessive consumption of red meat and internal, especially internal organs, as well drinking tea, chocolate, peas, and consumption of proteins from plants like peas, lentils, and alcohol, and somehow even fructose. But again, it is just unbelievable. No logic at all. And then dietary recommendations are to limit consumption of animal products and especially internal organs and vegetable proteins, and then restrict consumption of alcohol, tea, cocoa, and coffee. It's even coffee. It's incredible. Coffee has no problem with the calcium oxalate, and it doesn't make any harm. But of course, you have to limit consumption of the caffeine. Okay, but since the accumulation of oxalate crystals in the kidney is not officially considered as the case of the development of renal failure, of the kidney failure, modern pharmacology does not offer a universal drug that may cure arthritis. What they propose some medications, some drugs that reduce your symptoms, so you will suffer not so much from pain, but related pain, but it is not supposed to cure the source, cure the reason why it develops. Yeah, and again, no logic at all. Just again, they have symptoms. Okay, they think how to reduce the symptoms and keep people chronically ill. This is the gout, the arthritis develops mostly in almost in all elders, almost in all. I mean, at least half. Quite many people suffer from this. Okay, the relationship between this uric acid in blood and high blood pressure in humans is well established in mainstream medicine. Again, they just, without thinking, they, okay, this and this, we can see that higher level of uric acid and higher blood pressure together. Oh yeah, maybe it is there is some relation between them. Okay, then what is? Researchers persist to say that hypertension is a risk factor for increased level of uric acid in the blood. Again, no logic at all. If you have your kidney chronically inflamed, they cannot keep normal blood pressure. The chronic inflammation of your kidney is the cause of these problems, not the high blood pressure itself. It is just a symptom. But again, if your kidney doesn't work properly, it cannot extract the uric acid, and also blood pressure go up. But there is no connection. We have to look to the cause, to the source, to the high chronic inflammation of the kidneys. But they don't just say, well, well, what. They don't think. So again, it is my opinion. My opinion that the source, both high blood pressure and elevated uric acid levels in blood and also arthritis development, they have one common cause: chronic inflammation of the kidneys and their inability to remove both oxalates and uric acid salts from the blood. And why it is? Chronic inflammation of the kidney is caused by high dietary intake of oxalates, and then it is taken very long. It is not 1 month. It is years and years of your life. You consume all these fruits and vegetables, and then eventually you get accumulation of the calcium oxalate crystals in all tissues and especially in kidney. And then okay, what? But again, no logic, absolutely no logic. People, I don't know how they call themselves researchers, but I don't know. I'm not medical professional. I'm physicist, so at least I can think logically. Oh yeah, sorry about this advertisement. Okay, sorry. I didn't stop the network. Okay, then. In other publications, the authors correctly note that a blood pH between 6.2 to 6.4, this is normal pH of our blood, and then solubility of uric acid is high enough, and there is no risk of development of gout. Sorry, yeah, okay, yeah, my fault, I didn't stop it, and okay, but what else? Yeah, so if it is your blood is normal, solubility of uric acid is high, and there is no risk of development of gout, even if the uric acid is produced at very high amounts, no risk. If you're a healthy person, no risk at all. But again, recommendation of the official medicine is to drink more fluid, and it is okay. I'm quite well. I'm drinking more than 4 liters of water and some drinks, but this indeed may reduce concentration of urates and oxalates in the urine, and then your kidney will be not overloaded with this high concentration of the salts. But yet again, you have to think about the cause, how to reduce chronic inflammation of the kidney. And okay, blah blah blah. So there's some research, people spend a lot of money, and then they report that solubility of uric acid increases, while the solubility of sodium monourate decreases with increasing pH. So if you have the blood, so it is better to have some little bit urine, a little bit acidic, yes, because okay, then if pH above 6, sodium monourate that in this alkalized urine can precipitate in your kidney, but also in joints, bone joints. And interesting observation is reported by the authors of the publication that it's just blah blah blah, but they say they report, okay, the increase in the level of sodium salts of uric acid in the blood and so also in urine leads to precipitation of calcium oxalate crystals. So if you have your kidney doesn't work properly and you have high concentration of the salts of uric acid, then precipitation of calcium oxalate is increasing. So it is actually a good indication that it is a self-supported process. If you have chronic inflammation, then you cannot remove the calcium oxalate, you cannot remove uric acid, and then at some level it just go self-supported, it go exponential. But as prophylactic, they suggest to use some drug, allopurinol, to reduce production of uric acid. Incredible, just incredible. Okay, the ability, so it is again all go to chronic inflammation of the kidney. And why chronic inflammation of the kidney? Because of accumulation of calcium oxalate crystals in the tissues of all our body, but especially in kidney. Okay, this is some plots. Okay, if we have acidic blood and urine, then we have no problem, but at low acidity, so when it is alkalized, urine is alkalized, then we can have precipitation. So you think again, what can make your urine alkalized, or what can make your urine acidic? And again here, if concentration of both calcium and urate salts increasing, then oxalates also precipitate. Yeah, okay, it's okay, it's okay, I understand. It just shows us the problem, but doesn't show us the course, the why it develops. Okay, and then what is also quite disappointing. In a recent review article by Japanese researchers, they discuss efficiency of reducing uric acid production in the treatment of atherosclerosis. Again, they claim that there is connection between uric acid production and atherosclerosis development. It's incredible. But again, there is correlation because atherosclerosis is coming from plant food. If you consume vegetable oils and all these fruits and vegetables, then you develop atherosclerosis, because atherosclerosis, it is oxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids from vegetable oils by reactive oxygen species. And reactive oxygen species are produced if you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. This is a relation. So it is atherosclerosis is develops because of higher consumption of oxalates together with vegetable oils. But instead of getting using some logic, they don't. They propose to use some drugs, and what is interesting, they propose to limit consumption of meat and seafood and alcoholic beverages. Okay, no logic. It's again, what is it? Is it science? I don't think it is science. Okay, medical doctors associate the development of gout arthritis with psoriasis of the skin and nails, and but they say, oh, there is some connection probably. Psoriasis, people in older age develop psoriasis, like I developed psoriasis when I moved to Thailand and started to eat a lot of fruits. But then say, oh yeah, it is arthritis and this psoriasis. They have somehow connected. They don't know why, but okay, whatever. They just say, okay, it develops. But I have a video on it and presentation, and I only can say that development of psoriasis is the result of the leaky gut syndrome development. And why? Because the leaky gut syndrome develops because of damage to the protective layer of mucus and layer of epithelium layer by oxalates and also fibers in fruits and vegetables. We all hear, oh, you have to eat more fibers. Fibers are good for you. Fibers will, from fruits and vegetables, you will end up with psoriasis. And psoriasis will increase consumption, increase more oxalates are coming inside, because not only this soluble salts of oxalates can penetrate your guts and go to the blood system, but even nanocrystals of calcium oxalates. And then when these crystals are coming, then very easy they produce inflammation in your blood vessels, etc., etc. So it is again, it is so important that this development of all these diseases in older age because of calcium oxalate crystals accumulation in all your tissues, and then okay, then there are some vegetables and fruits which are more have higher level of oxalates and have less. So it is again the most like spinach is, oh yeah, it is the most healthy food. But spinach is mostly keep record in the amount of oxalates. You eat a lot of more than 100. It's again, our body can deal with 200 milligram of oxalates a day, 200 milligram. But also like 40, even 50% of this oxalate produced from ascorbic acid and other products in our body. So it is again 100 milligram of oxalates. It is maybe safe. But even if you have, if you eat 100 gram of spinach, then you have 6 times more. And banana also, oh, healthy food, but banana. Okay, cocoa, ginger, carrots, especially carrots. And when I hear some people say, oh, you have to drink carrot juice by liters, or vegetable juices by liters. Again, I think, okay, but I don't care. If people have no brains, then what to say? And I use some black pepper, yes, powder, yes, but not so much. I eat maybe a few grams per day maximum. Parsley and onions, green onions, also cassava. Yeah, interesting that cassava has a lot of oxalates inside. Okay, so, and okay, buckwheat and broccoli. Broccoli has, if you eat a lot of broccoli, you will get a lot of this oxalates. Yeah. beans, soybeans, garlic, and cabbage. Cabbage also, if you eat a lot of cabbage, you will get this problem. Yeah, well, so you see all the plants which promoted as healthy food, like sweet potato. Sweet potato, oh, it's so good for health. Some people in Japan who eat sweet fruits, they live longer. Not at all, guys, not at all. Humans are not were not evolved to eat fruits and vegetables. We can eat some fruits seasonally, but not every day and all year long. And berries, some berries have a lot of oxalates also, so some raspberries, orange also, orange juice and orange, it's a lot of oxalate. Avocado is it, oh yeah, so healthy fruit, avocado. Yeah, guys, if you will eat more than 5 avocado, then you will get more than 1 day limit of your oxalates. Yeah, and olives, kiwi, yeah, as I said, one fruit is not so much, but again, if you eat a lot of mandarins, yeah, okay, well, just think, okay, just think. When consumption, when consuming fruits high in oxalates, it should be considered that in a healthy person, the kidney can extract only 200 milligrams of oxalates per day. Again, this is what I said already, yeah? But if it is more than this, if you have with diet, you are getting more oxalates, then you're in trouble. And this, if you consume it on every day, years and years and years, then you will develop all these problems in old age. And you don't know what to do with it. And because advising from official medical doctors and dietologists, they say, okay, you have to consume more plant food and limit animal products. And but what is it makes? It makes gradual accumulation of calcium oxalate crystals in all your tissues. And the research on the role of oxalates accumulation with age is not supported, not funded. So you cannot find this information actually, or it's very not easy at all. And my opinion again that it is the gradual calcification of the body due to deposition of calcium oxalate crystals in all tissues of our body significantly shortens the life expectancy in humans, significantly. And again, not easy to remove these deposits from the body, even with the right diet, nutrition supplements, and enough physical activity to improve your blood circulation, to get some more acidic blood due to increased level of calcium dioxide in the blood. This detoxification process can take years. Yeah, I tell you, it's not easy. But what is interesting, when you do all properly, this psoriasis disappears, and it is again psoriasis at least will disappear as a sign that you remove this calcium oxalate, and your leaky gut syndrome is cured. Okay, but again, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a physicist, I'm a professional physicist, I'm a doctor in physics. My PhD was in quantum physics, but at least I can think logically. I read publications, I can connect dots. But if you cannot connect dots, then yeah, it's again you have to follow medical advice and official medical advice. So what is my opinion? Again, it is not conspiracy at all. This is just biology, absolutely biology. But we, as a civilization, developed so that our elite, financial, especially financial elite, is not interested to make people smart and to think, to educate them that they can think logically. Not at all. So, and what is the implying in 70s, the concept of reducing or the animal products consumption in the standard American diet have been adopted. And since then, we have epidemic of obesity and other chronic diseases in the United States. But yet mainstream medicine suggests the consumption of fruit and vegetables as well as nuts, seeds, vegetable oils, and grains, whole grains and legumes and beans are good to prevent chronic disease, and then but even they claim it and make research and have no result. And but again, in abstract, you will see, oh yeah, it is recommended to have at least 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables per day in older age. But when you go to inside, when you read the article, you discover that there is no advantage, there is no benefits from this at all, absolutely not. But yet they claim in abstract, okay, you have to, the research, some 10,000 elders were participated, millions of dollars were spent on it, and then this is a recommendation, eat more fruits, more vegetables, but no data, no proof for this, no proof at all. Okay, and then again, I spent a lot of hours studying some opinions of some official medical doctors and regarding the role of uric acid and blah blah blah. So again, I would say people, they don't think logically, absolutely not logical. I don't know, is it because they cannot think logically, or it is intentionally? I don't know. Probably both factors are present. So it is, if it is a person is a doctor, he has to, a medical doctor, he has to follow routine. They have to follow some established recommendation. One step left, one step right from this established routine. Then you are losing your medical license. You cannot make money any longer. I'm doctor in physics. Okay, I'm not interested to keep you chronically ill. I'm not. I work for myself, and but I see that the civilization is coming to catastrophe, and only the good thing that inside because of catastrophe will happen, and level of technologies will drop, and there will be huge depopulation. Again, it is not conspiracy theory. It is biological cycle of civilization development. Biological cycle. All living beings, all biological species, they come into these cycles of population. These are natural cycles, and we are coming, but only humans are a little bit special because we have this cycle very long, like 1,000 years, but the drop in population can be very deep. Can be like 90–95%. So it's, again, I only pray that it will be a little bit smooth. Yeah. Okay. Then what is important? Okay. Then you can protect you can support my project and join the research team, because what I'm proposing, recently I started this detoxification process, and it's, even if it is only a few days, I feel so much better. So I have to keep it for 2 months, actually, yes. But already 1 week, I sleep much better, and I feel full of energy, or not much, but compatible with the use of drugs which kill zombie cells, the senolytics. I used to take senolytics, and the senolytics were giving me some improvement in health and endurance, but short one. Now, with this detoxification program, it looks like all works long. All the week I'm getting just better. So I will maybe give more details about this later, but it works. It works. But what is interesting, again, I'm in quite special situation, you know, guys. I was born in Ukraine. I'm Ukrainian, yes. But I have a passport from Russia, because I worked in Russia in Academy of Science, and when Soviet Union collapsed, and I didn't change my passport, my citizenship to German, or I don't know, whatever. I didn't do it. I didn't do it because maybe I was so lazy. I didn't expect big problems. But now I have a problem. All my money in Russia is just halved, went to half. And I even cannot extract them because Visa and doesn't work. A Visa card doesn't work, and also the bank I keep in money in the bank, in Russian bank, it is under sanctions. So I'm Ukrainian, but I suffer from sanctions which I imposed on Russia, and now I'm in such situation that it's again, it's all for good. I can say that it's all for good. I don't complain, but situation is such. Guys, you want to get free advice? Go somewhere else. Yeah, there are many internet websites who recommend you this or that. They are funded by this banking elite, the financial elite, and you will get what is banking elite wants from you. You will get more advising to eat more fruits, more vegetables, to restrict protein consumption, etc., and others said. I cannot say always wrong. You can find some information, but mostly it is blended with shit. Yeah, blended. So some good, trustful information can be blended with shit, and then as a result you cannot decide for yourself what to do. And I spent so much time, my own time, to go into the details, because I cannot trust official medical care. I cannot trust the governments, and I was not, again, everything is happening for good. I came to this country, to Thailand, with 100,000 euro. I was thinking I have enough money to wait before my German retirement fees will start to come, and I was thinking everything okay, and it was quite okay for years. But then again I have some change. It is private circumstances. I don't complain, because of this, because I lost almost lost my money, my income. I am in such situations that I have to change my life. And all what I was accumulating for 40 years of my life, accumulating the money, so I was thinking I will use this money to have better life in older age. All this stuff is gone. Okay, gone, or at least blocked, and cannot use it. And especially now, the situation such that even Russian money are blocked. Yeah, then it is interesting. So we are just, again, no, I cannot provide you with free medical advice. And sorry, guys, so sorry. It's, again, I will take care about people who participate in the project and support me financially. But if you want to get free information, it is not to me. Okay, go somewhere. Okay, it's, again, it's. But I will not stop produce some advertisement, and so you will see, and you can follow some news. I will produce some news about situation with my program. Maybe again I keep this detoxing program, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you will see how my appearance will change. Or I will present some materials which confirm that my endurance is growing. But again, this program of detoxification is only for project participants who support me financially. Also for this detoxification includes removing of calcium oxalate crystals. But it is actually, it takes a very long time. Not 2 months, it is years and years, but at least I see that good improvement. I am quite optimistic, and yeah, okay. And then again, I present to participants of my project some extended version of this presentation, and in future I will limit my activity on YouTube, because I'm not getting any financial support from YouTube or something, and making this long video takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So sorry guys, again I'm in a situation that this war, and it makes my life is much harder. Even if I am Ukrainian, but I harmed with the sanctions from to Russia, and what is happening, it is disaster. Okay, I will talk about this maybe in separate video, because it's quite interesting what we are coming through. But well, just okay, guys, take care. Have a good day. Ciao.